Get that heater going. Temperatures in the 30s through the Nature Coast. We're in the mid-40s here in Tampa Bay. A chilly start to the day, but we'll start our warm-up later this afternoon.
Now, you might not need the coffee as you head out the door and get in the car to head to work. It's that cold. All right, taking a live look here. The Sunshine Skyway looking good. All of our bridges are checking and clear. In fact, all of our interstates are clear at this point. We don't have any major crashes at the moment.
All right, Laura, a deadly night on a busy Tampa Bay street when a driver pulls the trigger. More on that in just a moment.
Plus, parents packing into a school board meeting for a heated debate over a school district's transgender policy.
Good morning. Welcome back to Brightside. I'm Rob Finnerty.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Candace Avilés. It is Wednesday, January 16th.
Brightside at 5 starts right now. Good morning and thanks for being with us here on Brightside. Developing overnight, a road rage incident in Land O' Lakes has left one man dead.
It happened last night around 9:15 at the intersection of Collier Parkway and State Road 54.
And Brightside, Sarah Rosario is joining us right now. Sarah, when did all of this start?
So guys, you kind of just mentioned it right now. It happened around 9:15 last night. The scene is clear, but Land O' Lakes authorities are still working to figure out what led up to this road rage incident. And what we've been told so far is that it all began as a crash. Video from this scene shows that the two cars involved are on opposite sides of the road. You don't really see much damage to either of the cars, but deputies say one driver reportedly tried to run from the scene, where we're told the other driver followed, pulled out a gun and shot at the car. Deputies say 38-year-old Scott Ryan Bartoletti was taken to the hospital in Tampa where he died. Authorities have not released the name of the other driver, but they say this about people involved in road rage crashes.
And again, the best thing to do is just, if you feel like you're in a road rage situation or somebody's tailgating you or causing trouble, just call 911 and try to get to a safe spot.
Deputies have not yet said if there will be any charges in this case. They are working with the Florida Highway Patrol. They do say that the drivers did not know each other. We're told the other driver is cooperating with investigators. Coming up in the next hour, I will have more on what you need to be aware of during road rage incidents and other ways you can stay safe. Laura.
Yeah, that's a good point. Call 911 if you do feel like you are in danger, or just let it go if somebody does something what you feel is wrong against you on the road. Just not worth it. All right, we are starting with a live look here. I-275 at 22nd Avenue North in Pinellas County. Check it in clear. All of our boards, I did another scan. We're looking good. So it's 9 minutes right now between the Gandy and the Sunshine Skyway, and in the opposite direction as well. And another look here. I-275 right around Ashley Drive, and those downtown exits moving along great. So you're looking at a 5-minute drive between the Howard Franklin and downtown. So just real quickly, because we want to show you what I see when I'm checking the boards, that we're looking pretty good. We're looking for those triangles, which means that we have a crash, and we're not seeing anything right now. So Manatee, Sarasota County, you're checking and clear. 75 is moving along great. Grant?
Looking for those triangles this morning. Nothing out there, which is good. Good stuff, Laura. Thank you. Working with the cool conditions this morning, but here's a saving grace. Typically, the coldest part of the day is the hour after sunrise, but because we've had cloud cover roll in over the last hour or so, that cloud cover will act like a blanket to keep temperatures from dropping more than they otherwise would have. It's still cold though this morning. I mean, have a look. 35 degrees in Brooksville. We've got 46 degrees in Tampa. 51 in St. Pete. St. Pete, keep it there. Don't drop out of the 50s. We are finding though some 30s in northeastern Hillsborough County. Thenona Sassa, you're at 39 degrees. Zephyr Hills is at 36. So it is chilly this morning. You'll want that extra layer, especially for the kids as they head out to the bus stop and off to school this morning. Mid and upper level cloud cover hangs around through the first half of the day. We'll see clearing late in the day like we did yesterday. Still a cool day today. High temperatures peak around 64 degrees.
A Pasco County school board meeting turned into a public debate over transgender students' rights. It was fueled by a controversy at Chasco Middle School last fall when a gym teacher refused to let a transgender student who identifies as a boy use the boys' locker room. The majority of the parents at Tuesday night's meeting argued that locker room and bathroom use should be based on a student's gender at birth. The mother of a transgender student told the crowd that they were the reason she fears for her child.
This clearly sends a message to the other students that the transgender child is more important than they are.
I want to thank you for being that support for my kid and for kids like her. And I hope that we can all come to a resolution, because I don't want for it to be an us versus them thing. I want for it to be a human thing. These are human beings. These are human children.
School board members are staying silent. The district's policy, like many others, is to follow federal standards and court proceedings. You can learn more about the current federal policy on our website. That's WTSP.com. And parents who want to see changes made say that they plan to continue showing up to board meetings until those changes happen.
The controversial topic of abortion is back this morning after a new bill proposed in Tallahassee. It would ban abortions once a heartbeat is detected in the fetus. Right now, this is just a proposal. State Rep Mike Hill of Pensacola proposed the bill, which would make two key changes to the current law for abortions. If it passes, anyone who performs an abortion after a heartbeat is detected would be committing a third-degree felony. That can happen as early as 6 weeks, according to the American Pregnancy Association. The other change, the bill is redefining a fetus as an unborn human being. Right now, abortion is legal in Florida up to 24 weeks. State lawmakers meet for the legislative session on March 5th. That's the earliest they could take the bill up. If it does pass, it would likely get tied up in the courts. A third-degree felony is punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine.
A teen is dead after falling from a cruise ship and landing on a pier. The Sun Sentinel is reporting that 16-year-old Laurent Mercer died on Friday. He had been on a 7-day Caribbean trip with his family. Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas was docked in Haiti when he fell. Officials say Mercer allegedly didn't have his room card, tried to enter his 8th floor room from an adjacent balcony, but slipped and fell. And happening today, the accused Parkland school shooter is expected in court today. A judge will decide if he should still be supervised by a corrections officer he is accused of attacking. Right now, the accused gunman is separated from other prisoners and is closely watched while in the Broward County Jail. That hearing will be this afternoon at 1:30.
Inmates and staff from Bay County Correctional are headed back to prison 3 months after Hurricane Michael hit the Panhandle. The storm literally shredded the prison, and almost 1,000 inmates inside were affected. It took 2 days to evacuate. The storm pulled most of the roof off and left the facility without any water, working sewage, or phone service. All right, when Brightside comes back on this Wednesday morning, how you can handle your fears when it comes to your kids' school safety drills.
Good morning, everybody. You are up with Brightside. Happy Wednesday morning to you all. And if you're just joining us, let's ease you into your morning routine with this beautiful Earth Cam shot of the Maldives. The color of the water there is phenomenal. Good morning, everyone. I'm Candace Avilés. Here are your Tampa Bay headlines. Shaquille O'Neal will be in Tampa Bay today. The basketball legend will be giving a town hall lecture at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Center. That's in Sarasota. It will start at 10:30. The lecture is part of the Ringling College Library Association annual Town Lecture Series. And today there will be a Tampa Mayoral Candidate Forum. It will be at the Rialto Theater on North Franklin Street from 6 until 7:30. You will get to hear from all 7 candidates running in the race. Governor Ron DeSantis will be visiting Panama City today. He will be joined by the head of FEMA, Brock Long. They will be doing a roundtable to discuss recovery efforts. Then in the afternoon, he will visit Tyndall Air Force Base to check on the progress there. Ron?
Nice to see Shaq back in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Former star of the Orlando Magic, if you remember the early 90s. All right, right now the Keys osprey has been removed from the endangered species list. Wildlife officials say the population of the bird is rising statewide, and the birds are being removed from the list after a year-long review in December. Now, there is an argument that the Keys osprey could be classified as their own species, but FWC says there's no evidence that those ospreys are any different from the others. The change means fewer rules for developers, but it is still illegal to kill the ospreys. And speaking of FWC, we will get another red tide map from them a little bit later this afternoon. Last Friday's map showed that all of Pinellas County beaches are clear, basically from Clearwater, Honeymoon Island, all the way down to Fort DeSoto right there. That would be the cutoff to where Manatee County and Pinellas County, the county line right there. Manatee is still showing levels, while parts of Sarasota did have high concentration markers still. The bloom also getting stronger down in the Florida Keys. Medium concentration markers showing up there not far from Marathon. No fish kills have been reported, but people are still reporting respiratory problems in Manatee and Sarasota counties. That new map will be released this afternoon, generally between 3 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll have more on that coming up on 10 News Nightside. Meantime, want to check in with Grant Gilmore. Grant, cold start to our hump day.
Yeah, chilly start to the day. You know, throw on the extra layers. You know, there's only a few days out of the year where you get to dig deep into that closet and pull out some of that winter wardrobe. We've got mostly clear skies in some spots this morning, but cloud cover is quickly building in from the west. 46 degrees in Tampa, a dew point of 41 degrees. So a fair amount of moisture at the surface this morning. It's not that real dry air that we had a couple days ago. But there you see the cloud cover moving in from the west, so cloudier conditions closer to the water. As that cloud cover pushes to the east, it's breaking apart a little bit. So we'll keep that mix of sun and clouds around as we go through the day today. But this cloud cover has rolled in just in time to at least attempt at keeping temperatures from dropping too much further this morning. 35 degrees right now in Brooksville, 43 in Wesley Chapel, 46 in Tampa, and 51 degrees in St. Pete. So the way the cloud cover works is it's that blanket of cloud cover. It prevents what we call radiational cooling, so that warmth rising up out of the atmosphere into space, allowing the cooler air to sink down to the surface. So that's what we may not see as much as we normally would have with clear skies. Regardless, I mean, it's colder than this time yesterday. We've got temperatures anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees, if not close to 15 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. So a chilly start. Cloud cover, though, moving in. Actually, it moved in sooner than what Futurecasts had predicted. So we're looking at that morning cloud cover. I think it hangs around up until around 2 or 3 o'clock, and then it should start to clear out into the mid to late afternoon hours, giving us clear skies tonight. Temperatures tonight with those clear skies will return to the middle 40s once again to start off the second half of the week. So another cold morning. Temperatures in 30s through the Nature Coast will be in the mid 40s in the immediate Bay Area. Pinellas County, St. Pete area, probably closer to around 50 tomorrow morning. But look at this. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Temps right back up into the low, if not middle 70s in some spots tomorrow afternoon. Newport Richey to Clearwater, you're probably upper 60s to right around 70 tomorrow. But overall, the warming trend begins tomorrow. So we're at 64 today, 70 tomorrow. How about 77 degrees on Saturday? It'll be a great start to the weekend. Sunday, not so much. In fact, Saturday night, we could see a few showers arriving late out ahead of this cold front. Plan on rain through the first half of the day on Sunday. We don't put this on the board very often, do we? Arctic cold dropping in from the north. That brings us some of the coldest air that we've seen so far this season. So the start to the next week will be on the cooler side, but here's the good news. It doesn't look like it hangs around for long. 64 degrees today, 70 tomorrow. 77 on Saturday. There's your good chance of rain on Sunday. 57 degrees on Monday with low temperatures dropping back into the mid, if not lower 40s. Laura?
Yeah, and you know, the good news is that Saturday forecast for the Gasparilla Children's Parade, because you know there is nothing worse than having cold kids when it's windy at a parade like that.
And we won't have to worry about it this year.
Yeah, so we're good, guys, okay? We're set. All right, we're taking a live look here. This is the very southern end of Veterans Expressway right by Tampa International Airport as you're making that approach to Memorial Highway. Looking good. We're not seeing any delays for you. So as you're making that drive between Van Dyke Road to get to this area here, it's taking you right at about 11 minutes. So it looks like that southbound traffic is beginning to pick up just slightly here. And a look at our interstates, we're looking good. We are in the green. This is pretty much the heart of where we'll see the slowdowns when we head into the morning rush, which is now about an hour or so away. So we're still looking pretty good. But if you are just heading out the door, quick look at your drive times. 275 southbound, you're at 14 minutes between the Apex and I-4, and 75 southbound, 10 minutes from the Apex to I-4. And I-4 looking good, so we're at a 7-minute drive right now from 75 to 275. And if you're heading the opposite direction, it's 8 minutes. All right, and a quick scan of our boards here for crashes. We're not showing anything right now, so that is a good sign. Manatee and Sarasota County are also checking in clear with 75 moving along great. And if you are heading out to the bridges, just give you a quick look at those drive times as well. The Courtney Campbell is 10 minutes into Tampa, 7 minutes on the Howard Franklin Bridge, and the Gandy also 7 minutes. Of course, we do have that construction on the very end, or as you're making that approach into Tampa, which is slowing things down. And it will be slow for you as you continue on to Gandy until you get to the Selman, but that's just, again, because of the ongoing construction.
You probably remember your school's safety drills as a child, preparing for emergencies like fires or tornadoes. But times have changed, and now your child is preparing for armed intruders, which may make both you and your child anxious. Dr. Scott Brea with the Cleveland Clinic says this heightened awareness started with Columbine, and with constant access to social media and media, this awareness creates overestimation of the risk. So to help put a parent's mind at ease, he says, talk to school administrators about their plan of action.
If people have concerns about these things, particularly parents, go talk to school administrators, find out what the plan is. Because if they figure out that the people that are protecting their kids at school are as concerned as they are and taking active steps to help, some of our tension goes down. We call that sharing the worry.
Dr. Brea says it's natural for parents to have a reflex reaction when we see these things in the media. Our brains don't like uncertainty, especially when we don't feel like we have control. So don't think your fears are abnormal. Now, as for kids, Dr. Brea says it may help to have them talk to a professional, as worry affects children differently than adults.
Yeah, it certainly does. He also adds that we should talk to our kids about their fears, and it's important not to impose your fears on how they're feeling. And I think that kind of happens sometimes.
It totally does.
Growing up, my mom had a fear of flying, so I remember one time we were flying down here to Florida to go to Disney, and I kind of had a fear of flying.
Because you can, as a child, you can sense if your parent's nervous or not comfortable or calm, and that unsettles you, I think, whether you realize it or not.
And you pick up on that stuff.
Yeah.
Kids are very perceptive.
They're sponges. That's what we like to say.
They are.
They absorb it all.
All right, when Brightside comes back on this Wednesday morning, whether you're trying to do a cross-country road trip or you're glamping, it turns out there's an RV for you. Good morning. Welcome back to Brightside. Rob Finnerty, Candace Avilés. One of the largest RV shows in the entire country is kicking off today right here in Tampa.
That's right. The Florida RV Super Show has over 1,500 RVs and campers for you to check out.
My dream, by the way. My wife doesn't know it, but this is coming her way.
Are you serious?
Whoa, Sean. Sean Stryker
Sean.
is out there right now. It looks like a Harley Davidson. I can't make it out at this distance, but Sean is at the RV show. Sean, what's going on?
What's up, Rob? Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite things about the RV show is driving around and seeing as many RVs as I possibly can, all shapes and sizes. You know, this is the heart of camping season here in Florida, and while some people choose to, you know, I guess rough it and camp in a tent, others choose to camp in luxury in an RV. So this is where those people want to be this weekend. This is Dave Kelly with the Florida RV Trade Association. So this is one of the biggest RV shows in the whole country. We're saying over 1,500 RVs. How many people are we expecting this weekend?
Last year we did over 70,000 people over the 5 days. So we have, like you said, 1,500 RVs on display. We have another 850 RVs of people staying in them in our rally. So it's a huge event.
So you can come out, you can actually camp at the RV show.
Camp on the grounds and pick out your new RV while you're here.
So you come out, you get to see the RVs, but there's a lot of other things going on, some camping seminars. Tell me about some of the other activities.
Well, it's a great show. A lot of people are hesitant to walk onto a dealer's lot and say, I don't know anything about RVing, but here is where you can get all your questions answered. Whether you're an experienced RVer, we have seminars on full timing, how to get your medications, do your banking and that thing online. Then we also have RVs for the guy that's just getting started, and it's basically RVing 101. What do I need to know?
Well, we're looking behind you, and you see the huge campers, the huge RVs, but there really are all shapes and sizes. For instance, this guy right here behind me, this is one of the smaller RVs. It's actually a camper. It's a tow behind. I want to show you inside it, and it's a little too small for our photographer to come in, so we set up the GoPro to give you a perspective inside the RV. You still have all the luxuries in here. You have a stove, you have a bed, you have a TV, a little sink, and even I guess we could call it a bathroom.
Sure.
It's a bathroom combo shower. You know, if you need a place to sleep, you don't want to sleep in a tent, this is something that would be really neat. You know, a good, I guess, starter camper or starter RV, if you will. But as you see, a lot to come out here and experience. And my favorite thing, like I said, is driving around on the little cart. So we're going to do that, as I said,
of course
to you
it
guys
is.
in the studio.
Oh, I love it, Sean.
There he goes off into the sunset.
Sean Stryker heading into his future right there here on Brightside. You know what? You probably love RVs. If you are out there right now watching, I love RVs so much, and so many people love RVs. If my wife is watching, this is her future right here. She might not know it, but I can't wait to get an RV. I can't wait.
I think it's so cool. Yesterday I was watching a whole show on tiny homes, and they're very similar. It's like you can make, you know, 100 feet square feet work. You You have everything you need. You don't have a lot of space to move around, but really, as long as you have the basics and you're in a nice warm climate like Florida, you're fine.
I love it. We will check back in with Sean Stryker and look inside some of those yacht-size RVs coming up in just a little bit here on Brightside. Good morning. Thanks for being up with Brightside on this Wednesday morning. 5:25 is the time. Here is a live look out of the city of Boston. That is the John Hancock Tower for all you snowbirds down here from the New England area. The Patriots are going to be playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game Sunday right here on CBS. More on that coming up in just a minute. Stay with us.
All right, temperatures in the mid-60s this afternoon. It's going to be a cool start to the day, but our warm-up, it begins this afternoon.
And we are in severe weather season, but do you know where to go if a tornado hits?
And if you're just getting ready to head out the door, the roads are clear. We're not seeing any crashes. So giving you a live look here at the Selman Expressway heading into Tampa, where it's taking you 11 minutes from 75 to downtown.
And the partial government shutdown now in day 26, and a new estimate shows it's taking a larger than expected economic toll. Meantime, 800,000 federal employees are furloughed or working without pay until this shutdown ends. Still no end in sight. And here we go. We're halfway through the week already. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm Rob Finnerty.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Candace Avilés, and you are up with Brightside.
Just about 5:30 now on our Wednesday morning. Yeah, temperatures are on the cold side this morning. How about that? 35 degrees in Brooksville, 46 in Tampa. We're at 41 degrees in Lakeland. Cloud cover has been rolling in over the last several hours, but that's not going to keep us from having a cold morning across the region. In fact, some 30s in Hillsborough County, through North 39, 37 degrees in Zephyr Hills. Warmer through Pinellas County, but overall, everybody about 10 to almost 15 degrees colder than this time yesterday, which means give the kids the coat this morning. They'll want it. I'm telling you, 46 degrees this morning as we go into the day. It's going to be a cool day, just like yesterday. Some cloud cover earlier on. Mid-50s through recess. The ride home will be mostly sunny with temperatures in the low 60s.
Yeah, it's cold enough to wake you up this morning. All right, Grant, I want to have you take a look at this too. This is our camera's I-4 in Lakeland. Obviously out of focus here, but it looks just a tad bit hazy. Right?
It's up in Lakeland. You know, there were some agricultural burns.
You know what? That could be it.
North up in Hernando County,
yep.
So that might be what it is this morning.
That definitely makes sense. And we don't have any advisories right now, but you can see a pretty decent amount of people on the road here, though. I'm not seeing impacts on the drive time. It's still only 9 minutes between the two Polk Parkway exits. And hey, thank you for that, Grant, because I knew that you would know. All right, so let's go ahead and take another live look here. 275 at Hillsborough Avenue, seeing just a slight pickup on the southbound traffic in terms of volume, but we're not seeing impacts on your drive time. Still at 15 minutes from I-75 to I-4. And doing a quick check for crashes, we're not seeing anything right now. In Manatee, Sarasota County, you're also checking in crash-free at the moment.
Developing overnight, a road rage incident in Land O'Lakes left one man dead. It happened last night around 9:15 at the intersection of Collier Parkway and State Road 54. Detectives confirmed 38-year-old Scott Bartolotti was killed when the shots were fired.
It is dangerous. It was a little after 9 o'clock. We think we got the call around 9:22. So what we'd like to ask, if anybody in the community was in the intersection or at the 7-Eleven or anywhere in the area around 9:20, 9:22, 9:25. This evening and saw anything and might be a witness, whether they saw something or heard something, we'd like for them to contact the sheriff's office.
Pasco deputies say the public is not in danger at this time. Detectives are trying to figure out right now what led to the gunfire.
It is now day 26 of the partial government shutdown, and we've been keeping an eye on it over the past 4 weeks now. President Trump told supporters during a conference call yesterday that he's not going to back down until the border wall is built. But as Mark Liverman explains, Democrats aren't backing down either. In the meantime, thousands of people haven't been paid and millions of people have been affected as the shutdown moves into a new day.
White House economists say the partial government shutdown is having a greater economic impact than previously thought.
There are people who are having trouble making their rent payments, who aren't able to go out and go to a restaurant or something, and those are permanent hits to consumption.
The Council of Economic Advisors says the shutdown is costing the U.S. economy 0.13 percentage points in growth every week. That's more than double what was first estimated. 800,000 federal employees are either furloughed or working without pay. That includes 42,000 Coast Guard members and their families who missed their first paycheck yesterday.
Every day that it lasts is another day where we worry about what we're going to do next.
Back in Washington, both sides remain dug in over funding for the border wall.
Republicans are really sticking together.
President Trump's efforts to splinter Democrats fizzled yesterday. He invited rank-and-file Congress members to the White House for a bipartisan lunch, but only Republicans showed up.
We do the Minnesota shovels.
Instead, a group of freshman House Democrats crossed Capitol Hill. They demanded the Republican-controlled Senate take up legislation to reopen the government.
We've been calling this the Trump shutdown because that's precisely what it is, but it is also the McConnell shutdown.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said he won't hold any votes that don't have the president's support.
In the meantime, we all continue to suffer. Senate and House leaders say they will cancel MLK Day and they're recessed. They typically have the day off unless the shutdown is resolved before then. That happens on Monday. The confirmation hearing for Attorney General nominee William Barr will continue on Capitol Hill today. Day one was dominated by questions about the special counsel's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Barr told the Senate Judiciary Committee that while he would allow Robert Mueller to finish his work, he would not say if his findings would then be made public.
It's been 6 days since 13-year-old Jamie Kloss was found alive. We're still learning the details about what accused kidnapper Jake Patterson did to the teen. But this morning, we're hearing from the 911 dispatcher that took that call from the woman who found Jamie.
So how did she come up upon your cabin? I was walking my dog, and we were almost home, and she was walking towards me, crying, saying, "You got to help me, you got to help me." And she said, "I am Jamie Kloss." Yes. She said, "He killed my parents. I want to go home. Help me."
That operator is Amy Pullen. She described the emotions she was feeling when she took that call.
This is the first time in 10 years where I actually went into like a full body shake and body sweat, just because of the severity of the situation and how public it was, and you know, her family was in dire need of finding this girl.
And by the time deputies arrived a half hour later, Pullen says she knew Patterson was in custody, but she couldn't help but put her head down on her desk and breathe a huge sigh of relief.
All right, 35 after the hour, Wednesday morning. Severe weather here in Tampa Bay. It's not a joke. And it's not just hurricanes that we need to think about.
A sunny day can quickly turn dangerous when a storm becomes severe or even spawns a tornado. Hard to think about that, huh? Jenny Dean is joining us live now to show us why it's important to have a severe weather plan for you and your family in place. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning. I'm here at the Emergency Management Center in Pinellas County. They are preparing this morning for what they call the Great Tornado Drill. It's at 10 o'clock and it's a chance for schools, businesses, individuals to get their homes and their families ready and have a plan in case a tornado warning happens. And I want to show you some video of what tornado damage can look like, just to give you an idea of what this can leave behind. In our area, even a small tornado can rip off overhangs, uproot trees, and take out windows. Some of the stronger tornadoes, they can cause even more damage by ripping off the roof. And as you look at this video, think about all of those things and being inside your home. You don't want to be near windows, you don't want to be near where trees can fall into your home, and you don't want to be on a second floor at all. At businesses, overhangs and canopies, at gas stations, they can be pretty vulnerable, and the roof can easily be peeled back from a large warehouse. Tall signs can also come down. And I really wanted to show you that video so you can really think about what gets damaged. Let me bring in now Kathy Perkins. You are the director of Pinellas County Emergency Management here. And, you know, we're in a business right now. And I'm looking around and say I'm in my office and this is my cubicle. What would be wrong with being here if there's a tornado warning?
So we want to get as far away from windows as possible. So a good rule of thumb is to put as many walls between you and the outside in case a tornado warning is issued. So we're going to move into this conference room over here,
which is very close. Again, if you already have this plan, if you already know where you're going to go, you're not going to have to think. That warning comes down and then you can come in here, and then what should we do? We shut the doors, obviously.
We're going to close the door to minimize any glass from coming in, and then we've got some folks here that are showing us how that if once you're inside of this room, you can go underneath a table to help protect you from any debris that might fall, and then you'll notice that they're ducking and covering, so they're covering their heads to help protect themselves even more.
Now, people need to do this today. You're asking people at 10 o'clock today to find their spot, to do this, to duck and cover. Then what do you want them to do?
So we want them to post their pictures to hashtag PC Tornado Drill. This is a fun opportunity for us to share what we're all doing, and then there's an opportunity for prizes too for the best pictures.
And while we are having some fun with this, it's a very serious topic, and maybe a picture of this, and I see it, it might give me some ideas where to go in my business or at my home. So lots of great ideas here. We're going to talk more about this at 6 and maybe some places that you can go inside your home. But I want to go to Grant now. And Grant, what is the difference? Because they kind of want you to be aware that there could be a watch going, like be thinking that there's a watch, right, and then all of a sudden there's a warning. What's the difference between a watch and a warning?
You know, it's easy to forget, Jenny. It's a good question to ask because, I mean, so often before we have severe weather, we say, guys, there's a watch in effect, whether it's a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch. And it's a very clear distinction, and it's important that you know the difference. So let me walk this through for you. A tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of a tornado. And to give you an analogy here, think about when you're baking a cake, all right? You're getting the ingredients together. You're just prepping. That's how the conditions are when there's a watch. It means the moisture is coming together, the heat is coming together, the instability perhaps is all there. A warning is when you take all those ingredients for a cake and you put it in the oven. That's when the action is happening. That's when you need to take action. That's when you need to get into your safe place. If a warning has been issued for your area, you need to take shelter immediately and stay in that shelter until the danger has passed. Now, Jenny just talked about it. A lot of places that you could potentially go in a tornado warning, but the safest place is going to be that innermost room. Like I said, get as far away from the outside, get as far away from that threat as possible. We don't have basements here in Florida, or at least most places don't have basements, but you don't want to be near windows. You don't want to be on the second or third floor. If you can get to the lowest floor, the innermost room, you're going to be the safest in the event of a tornado.
All right, Grant, a super fan is defending his team, and he's living in enemy territory. Well, good morning. It is now 5:42 on your Wednesday morning. Making headlines right now, it is day 3 of the Los Angeles teacher strike in Southern California, where thousands of teachers are hitting the streets for bigger paychecks and smaller classrooms. In Africa, Kenyans are urging the government to tighten security after an attack killed at least 15 people at a hotel Tuesday. It started with car bombs in a shopping mall, then 4 armed Islamic extremists opened fire with guns on civilians. Lawmakers in London have rejected Prime Minister Theresa May's plan for exiting the European Union. May's government spent 2 years crafting the terms of a Brexit agreement. The UK is still slated to leave the EU on March 29th. Only now, it's not clear when and if that will actually happen. All right, cold start to our hump day, Grant. Temps in the 30s in certain parts of the Bay Area.
Oh, it's chill. You know, I got in the car this morning, and I mean, it was just a quick punch to turn on the seat heaters. You know, I mean, it's just... I mean, you don't need to do it because it's not like it's freezing outside, but it feels cold. Temperature is right now at 46 degrees in Tampa. Winds out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Relative humidity, though, up at 83%. So it's not that chilly, dry air. We're starting to see a little more moisture return to our air this morning. And speaking of which, yeah, some moisture in the mid-levels as well. Got some mid and upper level cloud cover streaming in out from the Gulf of Mexico this morning, and that will hang tight, especially along the coast through the morning hours. It won't be until this afternoon that we'll start to see that cloud cover break apart and give us more sunshine later on today. Temperatures, though, let's have a look. 35 in Brooksville, Tampa, there's at 46, 51 in St. Pete, Northport. Good morning. I don't want to forget about you guys. 42 degrees right now in southern Sarasota County. Now, again, cloud cover has been moving in. Futurecast missed that. So the forecast models aren't all right all the time. So that cloud cover has already arrived. And I think because it's arrived a little sooner, we will see it exit a little sooner as well. So Futurecast exiting the cloud cover around 4 o'clock. I think it starts to clear out a little sooner than that. So plan on cloud cover through the first half of the day with gradually clearing skies through the afternoon. Clear skies tonight, temperatures back into the middle 40s, and then we'll be back into the upper 60s to 70s tomorrow. But another chilly morning tomorrow morning. 30s once again through the Nature Coast. We'll be in the mid 40s in the immediate Bay Area. St. Pete around 50. Also, Wauchula, Arcadia will be in the lower 40s. Even Northport, you might drop down to around 40 degrees tomorrow morning as well. Tomorrow afternoon, how about this for a Thursday? Beautiful stuff here. Low 70s, if not mid 70s through central Polk County, 70 in St. Pete, 71 degrees in Tampa. That warm-up continues into the weekend. I love it when the warmth just builds all the way up into the weekend. That's my favorite part here when we see these types of forecasts come together. But things changing. Saturday evening, the chance of rain begins to build as this cold front drops in from the north. Cold front here, good chance of rain on Sunday. Take note, Arctic cold. We'll talk about this in a second. Below zero temperatures across the central plains. That's Arctic air plunging south. We may not see temperatures out of the 50s for us as we go into the beginning of next week. Today we'll see temperatures in the mid-60s, becoming sunny, clearing down as we go into the evening, and overnight mid-40s once again into early tomorrow morning. 7-day forecast, there's that warm up. At least a 60% chance of rain right now for Sunday. with that cold snap coming in just for a day, looks like. We're back into the 60s as we go into Tuesday. But Laura, you know, you're looking ahead to Children's Parade with Gasparilla on Saturday.
77 looks great. And partly cloudy. I mean, you can't ask for better than
partly
that,
cloudy with
right?
maybe some rain rolling in late after the parade. Yeah.
You know, for those parents who, if you're at home, if you're lucky enough to get your kid in a big jacket this morning, just a heads up that you want to make sure before you put them in their car seats that you take that jacket off.
Oh, so
because
smart.
You want
Very,
that harness to
Yep.
be snug. You know, you may
Yep.
think it's snug when their jacket's on, but there's going to be that pocket of air that's not going to properly protect them. So we always say, take the jacket off, buckle them up,
Yep.
and then you're good to go. You
That's
can
one
put
of the
it on
first
as a
things that I
blanket-
learned
a
when
blanket.
Finley, when we brought her home. I mean,
Yep.
it was the summertime, but still, you want to
Yeah.
put the blanket or the coat over on top of them.
Over,
Yeah.
not
Yep.
under the harness, because that harness is that's a big part of what keeps your kids safe if you do get into a crash. All right, speaking of crashes, we do have reports of a crash here. We think this is it from checking all of our cameras on I-4 westbound, right around US 301 and Hillsborough Avenue. It's off to the side. I was on the shoulder. I did see what appeared to be the driver maybe calling to report the crash here. So we're going to keep an eye on this, but at this point, I'm not seeing it impacting your drive time. So it's still only 8 minutes from I-75 to get to the junction at 275. And taking a live look here, I-4 around McIntosh Road, and we're seeing a pretty steady stream of traffic all along I-4 between the Polk Parkway to 75, but your drive time is still right at about 14 minutes. All right, so let's look at some of those other popular routes for the morning commute. 275 southbound from the Apex to I-4, it is taking you 14 minutes, and then 75 from the Apex to I-4 taking you 10 minutes. So we're still pretty much in the green overall, and just taking a quick look, checking in for crashes, we're not seeing anything in the Tampa Bay area, then Manatee, Sarasota, you're also checking in crash free, so no major delays right now, Rob.
All right, Laura, we are now days away from championship weekend, and a boy who lives in the Northeast and loves the Kansas City Chiefs, the same team scheduled to host the AFC Championship game Sunday night. He loves the team so much that he's willing to risk ridicule living in enemy territory in Patriots country.
Paul Burton has more on where his Midwest passion comes from and how he gets through the hard times like this. Take a look.
Go Chiefs! Go Patriots! Go Chiefs! Go Patriots!
It's not always fair to be singled out in school, but some just bring it on themselves, like 10-year-old Christopher Spray.
Because I'm like the only one who likes the Chiefs and everybody else likes Patriots.
Yes, this innocent-looking fifth grader at the Ambrose Elementary School in Winchester is a Kansas City Chiefs fan. He's proud of his team and courageous to wear his jersey in enemy territory, the playground.
I think the Patriots are going to crush the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to destroy the Patriots. Are you sure about that? And leave no survivors.
You can't blame him. Both of his parents are Chiefs fans. Mom was born in Kansas and has been loyal ever since.
Kansas City is a very family-oriented town, and I think everyone feels it like that's their family. And so you're invested in it like that.
Her husband Dylan plans to attend Sunday's AFC Championship game. He's been a fan for more than 20 years and has kept every ticket stub.
The Chiefs will be ready for this game, I guarantee it. In Arrowhead Stadium, that is one loud place.
Chris actually wears his jersey every time the Chiefs win. This week, he's wearing it every single day, not only to surprise and annoy his classmates, but to let them know he's taking no prisoners. And how are you guys going to beat the Patriots?
We have to have a good defense, which not the best.
Him come to the school with the Kansas City Chiefs jersey on, knowing he's in Patriots territory.
Boo! Win or lose.
Ambrose School, AFC on 3. 1, 2, 3, AFC!
It's all in good fun.
All right, well, that kid is pretty darn cute, but I got to tell you what. Oh, boy. I mean, I worked in the Kansas City market. That's never going to change. Anybody who's from it, you're going to be a Bucs fan forever. I'm a Patriots fan. And it was really tough for me doing the news because the Chiefs and Patriots, they match up. And everyone's like, so what do you think, Rob? You're really excited about Alex Smith? And I'd be like, no, Carl, I hate him. But like, I couldn't say that. I had to pander to the audience. So I'm just going to let you know I'm a Patriots fan.
I heard about you. Though, it's like, I love, and come on, we all have to love this. Kids talking football?
Yeah.
Oh, it's adorable.
How fantastic is that?
It's adorable.
I don't want to go off the rails here because my producer is like,
that's true.
Keep
Well, sure. We'll keep it moving.
But Grant, it's going to be very cold in Missouri where the Arrowhead Stadium is. How cold is it going to be, though? Because it could be what they're calling an Arctic blast.
Oh, our Arctic air just dropping in. I mean, it's going to have a huge impact on the game. You know, the approach, the game plan, all of that. It's got to be more on the ground, right? You got to run more when you've got these cold temperatures. Look at that. Kansas City, Sunday morning, temperatures forecast to be around 0, if not below 0. Game time. they actually see some warmth come back. Thank goodness, though. But remember, this game right here on 10 News, Patriots at Arrowhead Stadium against the Chiefs. Game time, 6:40 Eastern, 17 degrees. Whoo, dog, that's cold. And then they warm up to 18 degrees by 7 o'clock. All of that's going to be with clear skies out there and a wind only at 5 miles per hour, Rob. So let me bring you in here because, I mean, I know Tom Brady, he loves some cold weather, doesn't he?
That's right, clear skies. Full hearts can't lose when you're the New England Patriots and you're a fan of Friday Night Lights, one of my favorite shows. Available on Netflix, by the way. All right, so we've got a question for you, Grant, by the way. I did look it up. This gentleman right here, Thomas Patrick Brady, number 12, is 5-1 all time when the temperatures are below 20 degrees. So that bodes well for this Sunday. But we're asking a question this morning. We have seen some great athletes over the last 18-plus years. So we want to know, who is the most notable athlete of the 21st century, of the last 18-plus years? You can vote right now on our free 10 News app or on our 10 News Facebook page. Your options are Tom Brady, LeBron James, who still looks funny to me wearing a Lakers jersey, Tiger Woods, or Serena Williams.
I love this debate because it's best athlete or who is the most athletic.
Right. It's a full package, though, because I know you're going to say Tom Brady's not the best actual athlete.
I know. I get it. I love the debate. I love
it. I'd
love to see your results, guys, or see your votes because.
Keep those votes coming right now. This is the debate of the morning here on 10 News. So keep it here locked on 10. Both the AFC and NFC championship games happen this weekend. The AFC championship game you can watch right here on CBS Sunday, January the 20th, 6:35 is the kickoff. So we'll see you then.
Now, enough of that bromance. This girl on fire is taking over the Grammys. In case you missed it, the Grammys just named its host for the 61st awards.
I'm going to give you a hint. This girl is on fire. Yes, we're talking about Alicia Keys.
That's my fire.
Right, that was
but
good.
when she told her kids about it, their reaction was hilarious. Take a look.
I got some good news, guys. Or I got some news. Guess what? I am going to host the Grammys.
I love kids.
Is he crying?
They're like, great, I want some milk.
He's like, okay.
All right, Alicia Keys has won 15 Grammy Awards. She'll be the first female host in 14 years.
And she sold more than 30 million records since the release of her debut album in 2001, Songs in a Mirror.
Pretty cool. Kids are the best.
Yeah. I haven't seen that.
They're
That's
like, what's
awesome.
the Grammys?
Yeah. They're like, back to my peanut butter sandwich with no crust.
So does that mean you're not going to be home?
Yeah. What night is this?
Quick look at the 7-day forecast before we let you go. 64 this afternoon. We're back into the mid-70s as we go the rest of the week.
All right. Stay with us. More Brightside coming up at 6.